Was a firefighter wearing a gas kind of firefighter mask, and I answered the door. I had put my daughter to sleep, and he said, "We believe your house is on fire." And I looked in the backyard, and there were 4 firefighters also in their garb, and my house was not on fire. I had built a fire in the fire pit, and there was no wind. Imagine that, no wind on a Kansas day, and it had billowed up in a maple tree in my backyard. But ironically, my house really was on fire metaphorically, because that was the beginning of the end of a long marriage, which I never thought had any chance of ending. And I didn't want to end. And I don't feel like I even started grieving it until 4 years after the divorce. That's why I'm still single, probably. Because it can be hard to face things in your life that happen that you don't expect. When you are in a highly stressed state, an anxious state, our brains don't function the right way. Everyone right now, put your hands in front of your face and open your fingers so you can still see me, okay? Open your fingers so you can still see me. You can all see me. Now slowly lower your hands to your side. Okay, this is an example of what happens with stress, okay? We use a part of our brain called the amygdala when we're highly stressed. It's the very first part of the human brain to develop in utero. So I got to hear my daughter's heartbeat at 8 weeks. And the amygdala starts to develop very, very early in utero. And it is the emotional center of your brain. So babies are very good when they're born at crying, getting their needs met. They're amygdala centered. When you become amygdala centered, everything you look at is through that lens of stress. So your brain doesn't function well. You lose your ability to be creative. You lose your ability to relate to people. You lose your sense of humor. You lose the capacity to actually problem solve at a high level. Everything is about fight or flight or freeze in that state. And we can get into those states very quickly, like when the internet doesn't work and you're the speaker. We can get into those states because something is threatening to us and we don't really know why, because maybe they remind us of somebody in our past and we can't really connect the dots. There are lots of reasons why we get into this state. And it's called tunnel vision, basically. It's tunnel vision.